from the Biz Boot Camp. I'm currently in the United States at Lone Star College in Texas to speak with people about the application of ideas, the implementation of ideas, and what that means to them in real terms. During this talk, we're going to be actually discussing a whole range of different ideas and principles about the getting from the idea all the way to actually applying things in business. This is just one of the US-UK alliance talks that we're doing right now, which are linking together what's happening in the United States as far as Startup America, with Britain, Startup Britain, and linking entrepreneurs globally. And moving beyond just talking about business, but actually looking at how it's applied, how it's actually run on a daily basis, and how you put principles from way back philosophy and all the different principles that are used to run business, how you actually apply them on a day-to-day basis. This is moving beyond theory, moving beyond learning to actually doing. So, if you'd like more information or would actually like to get to hear this podcast, then click on the button that's somewhere down there, and you'll be able to hear the full discussion that we had here at Lone Star. This is Marcel's Lindsay from the Biz Boot Camp, and I'm currently here in Cy-Fair, Texas at the Lone Star College, speaking with Professor C.Barrington Lindsay about the application of philosophy and ethics to business practice. He's a professor teaching philosophy here at the college, and just thought he'd have a few words to be able to share with you about real-world application, taking from ideas to real application. Thank you very much for spending a few minutes with me here. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, earlier on you were talking about the history of how the philosophy courses in universities, how it changed over the last 30 years. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes. Beginning in the 60s, late 60s, 70s, us as social scientists had become very active and very conscious about our world. Philosophy was a real big part. There was sociology, psychology, philosophy, where we all thought that our action and how we view the world would eventually change the world. We thought that we could be social engineers to change things. However, during the 80s, there seems to have been a shift where companies were requiring their students or future employees to be more focused in business. So instead of taking those core requirements in behavioral sciences, they're requiring more business practices. This way, when they get there, they could have them focused on the business applications. However, by losing the grounding in the behavioral sciences, it was discovered later that the students weren't as well-rounded. And also, they weren't as well grounded in ethical principles, because a lot of this had gone away. Philosophy departments had started closing, or they started combining them with other disciplines in order just to maintain the subject. What happened was after the Enron situation, they've come to now understand the need for ethics, the need to be trained in ethical principles, and for the whole moral structure. So now schools are actually, and businesses are actually requiring that you have some ethics courses in order to be able to help in you making decisions in your business life. To the point where this college has gone from 8 sections of philosophy before Enron to now over 60-something section of philosophy. And ethics must now be a core requirement.
And what do you think this will have a definite impact on the business leaders of tomorrow?
Absolutely. If, for all intents and purposes, as people have come to realize, if some of these people in the Enron organization had been taught ethical principles, we think that the whole thing wouldn't have happened the way it did. Because they would be more conscious in their decision making of the principles that would eventually affect the world. Since we're such a small community, it's no longer Europe, the Far East, the Middle East, but it's now a global community, and everything that each one of us does affects the other.
Well, thank you very much. I think this is really insightful because in part of the discussions we've been having, we've talked about the business leaders of tomorrow and what fundamental skills that they need to have. And as you're saying, having ethics and morals and training in that to help them be able to make better decisions seems to be a core part of that. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And for those of you who are a part of the Biz Bootcamp community, you can actually log on and you can actually hear the audio of some of the sessions that were held here at Lone Star College discussing the actual application with students who are actually attending the philosophy course. So thank you very much, and we'll see you.